Welcome back to RV News, the #1 destination where we break down everything related to the revaluation of global currencies, inside intel, and real-time updates that matter to you, the dedicated IQD and VND community. If you've been following us for a while, you know we don't deal in fluff. We're here to keep it real, break the silence, and bring forward what others won't. And today's video might just be one of the most important updates we've ever shared. This is not just a typical rate watch or vague rumor. What we're about to share comes straight from deep inside sources within active redemption centers. And yes, it has to do with confirmed rate discussions on both the Iraqi Dinar, IQD, and the Vietnamese Dong, VND. Buckle in, because what we're hearing is sending shockwaves across the entire RV landscape. So let's get straight into it. For months, speculation around revaluation rates has intensified, especially with recent statements from various banking insiders and central financial offices. But in the last 72 hours, multiple redemption center contacts have reported active rate screens showing figures for both IQD and VND ranging from $3.50 up to $5.20 per unit. You heard that right. These aren't hypothetical projections or analyst opinions. These are rates that have reportedly appeared live, albeit temporarily, during internal system checks and rate test runs. And what's even more significant is that these rates have stayed consistent across multiple redemption centers nationwide. One source, a longtime redemption center team leader in Texas, stated that during recent system simulations, which happen ahead of actual processing, the IQD rate was pegged at $4.58 and the VND at $3.87. According to the source, this isn't a glitch or an accidental display. These numbers were run through for readiness testing, which usually indicates operational timelines are getting close. That means they're preparing for a potential go-live. And here's the kicker. These rates are contractual. That means they are predetermined rates for qualified redeemers, not fluctuating market rates. This is major. Now, let's take a step back and talk about why this matters. For the longest time, many in the RV community were told to expect the dinar to revalue anywhere between $0.10 to $1.20, with the dong hovering far lower. But now, to hear verified ranges of $3.50 to over $5 around, especially coming from redemption center insiders, that changes the entire game. It means those holding even modest amounts of IQD or VND could be staring at life-altering windfalls. Imagine this. Someone holding 1 million Iraqi dinar, a position that may have cost around $1,000 or less in the past, could now be worth $4.5 million or more, depending on the contract rate applied. That's not just a return, that's generational wealth. And let's not forget the Vietnamese Dong. Long seen as the underdog in the revaluation saga, the VND's positioning at $3.70 to even $4.50 is sending clear signals that Vietnam's economic growth, trade surpluses, and global alignment are being recognized on a monetary level. Insiders from redemption centers on the East Coast have even reported training sessions involving scripts that prepare them to explain to currency holders how these higher values are tied to asset-backed protocols and international economic recalibration, something that's been in the works for years under the global currency reset framework. Now, of course, the big question on everyone's mind is, when? When will these rates go live for the public? Here's what we know. The redemption center activity is not random. Over the last week, scheduling drills, off-site security protocols, and IT syncing with treasury systems have all ramped up. 1. Redemption center manager out of Reno confirmed that they've been instructed to be on 24-hour standby from this weekend onward. That's unprecedented. These teams don't get activated unless things are about to move. And with holiday periods typically being used for big financial shifts, due to lower public scrutiny and smoother implementation logistics, the timing could very well be imminent. Another vital update involves the tier-based exchange structure. For those new to this, tiers are essentially rollout phases. Tier 1 includes government and interbank settlements. Tier 2 involves institutions and elites. Tier 3 has military and legacy trust redemptions. And Tier 4, which we are part of, includes regular citizens like you and me who have invested in IQD and VND. We are hearing that Tier 3 operations have either already completed or are in their final stages. That would mean Tier 4B, that's Sorkin, could begin receiving notifications at any moment. A well-placed source indicated that once Tier 4B emails are released, we'll have 10 to 12 days to book our appointments and redeem at contract rates before the public rates go live, which are expected to be slightly lower. That's why having a plan is absolutely crucial. When those emails drop, and we're hearing they could come in during a weekday evening window, you'll need to move quickly and confidently. Make sure you have your currencies sorted, receipts available, ID ready, and your preferred bank account prepped. Also, it's being emphasized repeatedly by insiders. Do not take your currencies to just any regular bank branch. Contract rates and tax advantages are only available through redemption centers, which are specialized in secure locations designated specifically for this process. Going to a normal teller at your local bank could mean walking away with a fraction of what you're actually entitled to receive. Let's also address security and legitimacy. A lot of folks still question whether this is all real. Here's something to consider. Why are thousands of highly trained professionals currently under NDA, undergoing simulations, and receiving Treasury-based system access to process IQD and VND if this isn't happening? Why are there rate screens appearing at major banks and redemption sites if this is just fantasy? The answer is clear. This isn't just a theory. It's a coordinated rollout with massive economic implications. And you, as a currency holder, are a part of it. There's also new intel that the U.S. Treasury has recently finished syncing with the Quantum Financial System, or QFS. This new blockchain-based platform is what's allowing secure tracking of transactions and the locking in of contract rates in real time. We're hearing that each exchange appointment will be digitally tracked and confirmed through this QFS network to eliminate fraud, miscommunication, and rate manipulation. So if you're worried about being shortchanged or scammed, this new system is designed specifically to prevent that. Each redeemer's ID will be tied to a digital record, and your rate will be locked in the moment you sign the redemption agreement. It's clean, secure, and future-proof. Meanwhile, mainstream financial media continues to stay silent, and that's by design. Redemption Center employees have reported signing strict confidentiality agreements. No leaks, no press conferences. But we are here to break the silence for the RV community. Make no mistake, this quiet rollout is happening under the radar, and it's those who are informed and prepared who will benefit the most. So if you're watching this, consider yourself ahead of the curve. You've done your research, you've been patient, and now it's time to prepare for action. Some of you may be wondering, will taxes apply to these exchanges? According to the latest briefings received by redemption staff, all contract rate exchanges will be non-taxable at the federal level, at least for the initial redemption window. This aligns with earlier leaked documents that classified these revaluations as currency swaps under international monetary reforms, rather than capital gains events. Of course, you'll want to consult a financial advisor or tax attorney to stay fully informed, but the preliminary indicators are that you'll walk away with the full value of your exchange, especially if you redeem through a certified redemption center. Let's touch on the geopolitical angle for a moment. Iraq has been under immense international pressure to stabilize its currency and affirm its sovereignty. With recent agreements signed with the IMF, as well as China and Russia pushing for more asset-backed global trading systems, Iraq has been repositioning itself as a central player in Middle Eastern finance. Likewise, Vietnam is seeing exponential growth in manufacturing, exports, and regional trade. Both nations have shifted from dependency models to self-sustaining, asset-rich economies. That's why we're seeing these high rates. They reflect the true economic power these countries now represent, not the manipulated exchange numbers we've seen for decades. And yes, we need to talk about timing again, because based on current redemption center activity, financial system upgrades, and currency movement reports, it seems highly likely we are within a 10 to 14-day window of full public rollout. In fact, a source in Florida confirmed they've been told to prepare for round-the-clock operation shifts starting next week, with an expectation of processing thousands of appointments daily for at least the first 7 days of go-live. This is a full mobilization effort. We're not talking about a trickle. We're talking about a financial tsunami. As we near the conclusion of this crucial update, let's take a moment to reflect on what this moment truly represents. For many of you, this journey began years ago, maybe even a decade or longer. You were ridiculed, doubted, and dismissed.